Hello, my cookies, and welcome. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, I am making an Orange-Annatto chicken in my Breeo. It has so much more use than just cooking pizzas. I'll just jump into it. For the Orange-Annatto chicken, this is kind of a Mexican staple. It's delicious. It's full of citrusy flavor. So with this chicken, you aren't looking for crispy skin. You're looking for nice smokiness and a ton of flavor, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to make a marinade for the chicken, let it sit overnight. We're also going to reserve a little bit of that, and we're going to brush it on throughout cooking. So that's going to keep it moist. It's also going to add flavor, and that liquid will help capture any smokiness. So if you want to add some wet wood chips halfway through cooking to kind of smoke it out and give it some nice smoky flavor, you can do that. This is definitely make ahead, but it's a lot of hands-off time. I love cooking in this Breeo pizza oven. It's just fantastic, and we're gonna get a really moist chicken, deep flavor. To get that deep flavor, we need to make a really good marinade. So for that, I have some orange juice concentrate. You're also gonna need some garlic. I got a whole bunch of whole peeled because I'm just gonna be throwing it into a blender. I got half an onion. This was a pretty big onion, small onion, use the whole thing. Fresh thyme and some fresh oregano. If you can't find either, I guess dried is a good substitute, but make sure you cut the amount down to about a quarter of what I use. So if I use 2 teaspoons of oregano, only add in about half a teaspoon of dried. You're also gonna need some annatto powder. Now this is kind of has some citrusy brightness to it. It's not a ton of flavor, but I think it pairs really well with the orange here. Salt in a good amount because we're marinating this. Finally, you're gonna need a chicken. I have a spatchcock chicken. I'm gonna cook it spatchcock. I suggest you do the same. If you don't know how to spatchcock it, you essentially cut out the spine, flatten out the chicken. This was on sale, so I snagged it. Saved myself the time of cutting it out, and cheaper. Why not? If you want to spice it up and add a little bit of heat, you can always drop in some chipotles in adobo, 1 or 2 into the marinade itself will give it a spicy, smoky pop. I highly recommend it. If you got kids that don't really care for the spice, maybe omit it like I'm going to do. So with this chicken, you don't want to cook it in a blazing hot 900-degree oven. So I tend to get it down to embers. I'll put this on top. It'll heat up to about 600, 700 degrees. I want to get my chicken in probably around 500 degrees, maybe 550. Not really more than that, not less than that, all right? This is going to cook through because it's spatchcock. It's going to cook through anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes, depending on the size. I'm going to be pulling it out about every 10 or 15 and brushing more marinade on. But because this is timed and whatnot, let's get started. In a Vitamix or your blender, I'm going to add about half a can. This is 6 ounces of my orange juice concentrate. Dice up this onion, not even dice it up. I'm going to quarter it up. Get it in there. Put in about 2 teaspoons of salt. I'll stir a little bit extra into the part that I'm going to be adding to the chicken. All right, with garlic, 5 to 8 cloves. If they're large, 5. If they're smaller, 8, even more. This is we're just packing in flavor here. We're just packing in flavor here. I'm not even counting. With the annatto, I'm going to add about a tablespoon. This pairs so well with the orange. It's subtle, so that's why I'm doing a lot here. Finally, the oregano and thyme, I would say about 2 teaspoons. When I buy my thyme, I look for the dark. See how the stems are kind of light green at the top and they get dark, kind of woody down below. If you're going to be peeling it off, I like the woodiness. They're a little bit more firm than the green, and I can just pull it right off, pull all the leaves right off. With oregano, I'd say about the same, maybe about 2 teaspoons. Let's get it all blended up nice and smooth. Let's fire this up. About 30 seconds, get it nice and smooth. That's all you need. Now remember, we're going to try and save a little bit. I'd save about a 1/3 cup, give or take. 1/4 cup's fine. Don't do more than a 1/3. And then you're just going to set that aside. You're going to use it when you cook it. Now for the chicken itself, again, it's spatchcock. I'm just going to use this container. You can put it in a plastic bag or another bin if you want. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt to the marinade that's going on the chicken. Take your fork or whatever, skewer. We're just gonna give the skin a little bit of a prick here. Just a little prick, just a little poke. All right, you wanna puncture the skin. You don't wanna go too far into the meat. This is just gonna help skin render. It's also gonna help flavors kind of get into the chicken more. I'm also gonna loosen the skin up between the breast and the skin. Just get your finger in there. No Michelin stars today. If you tear the skin a little bit, it's not ideal, but don't beat yourself up. It's gonna happen. The oven's dropping. We're at about 550. I need to get this in. Got our marinade, got our loosened skin. Get that skin up, pour it underneath the skin. It's not all gonna get under there. That's okay. We're gonna rub this whole thing with this marinade. So now that you're done, put it in the fridge 12 to 24 hours. Let it marinate. Now that it's marinated for 24 hours, see what I did there? See what I did there? Let's get this off. Woo-wee. Ooh, it smells good. It smells citrusy. I have a cast iron pan. Anything will work. I'm not looking for browning here. I'm going to just put it in. I am going to add a little bit of water to this just so it doesn't start to burn on the bottom. You can use chicken stock, whatever you want. Just going to put it in like this. All right, so I'm just going to add about a half cup of water. Again, the point of this is we are not looking for crispy skin. That is not what this recipe is. If you want a crispy skin chicken, get it elsewhere. Find a different recipe. This isn't it. This is cooking a chicken in a pizza oven. Wood fired. Let's go, baby. All right, my oven temperature has dropped to about 500 degrees. This is perfect. All right, it'll continue dropping over the course of cooking. I'm gonna be pulling it out. I'm gonna be rotating it. All right, this is cooking. This is driving stick. This isn't an automatic car. We're driving stick. We're cooking over an open fire. All right, 69 Mustang going up and down the California coast. That's what we're doing. Let's get going. So what I'm going to do now is, since I'm at 500 degrees, I'm just going to close this chimney vent. That's going to help trap in additional heat. It's going to help cook the chicken, not just from the bottom, but from the top down. Voila. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and pull this out. Let's brush it with a little bit of that marinade. Channel your inner Bob Ross here. Look at this. I'm going to put a little bit more water on the bottom here. Put it in, legs first. All right, it's time for a second coat on this beautiful chicken. The oven has dropped down to about 450 degrees. I kind of expected it to drop a little faster. Closing the vent definitely slowed that down. So let's take a look at it. I might need to pull it out instead of every 10 minutes or 15, might be every 8, just to get a nice new coating of this marinade. Look at that. Channel your Bob Ross again. We're going to just paint over the whole thing. You can tell it's dried out. We're adding moisture to the skin. We are not looking for crispy skin. The smokiness from the fire will stick to this moisture. Yeah. Oh, flavor. Let's get it in. I am going to rotate it 180 degrees. We got about 5 or 10 minutes left. Let's pull it out, temp it, see where we're at, get another coat of the marinade on top. Nice little jar. I'm just going to brush it on again. Oh, some of this doesn't look good. All right, let's take a temp. You want your chicken breast to register around 160 degrees. Carryover cooking is going to take it up to 165. You want to cook your chicken breast to 165. Thighs and drumsticks need to hit at least 175. I like taking them up a little bit more, 195. You just get a little bit more meltingly tender. Not there yet. Probably 10 to 15 more minutes. Glad we put this rub on. Let's put it back in. Let's get it back in. Legs first. That's going to be so juicy. All right, here we go. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and temp this. So let's put another layer and get it back in. Look at this. I might take some of the other marinade too. Oh yeah, baby. Let's get it back in. It's gonna take 5 or 8 more minutes. That will put my total cook time at around 40 minutes. That includes pulling it out and brushing it on top. So around 40 minutes. Let's just rotate it every couple of minutes, all right? Let's put it in, we'll rotate it. There you have it. Chicken has temped out. Now I am going to let it rest. And that could take anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes for the rest. Yes. It's time to cut in this chicken and give it a taste. I'm just going to separate the leg quarter here. Look at that. Oh, easy, juicy. Let's go ahead and cut this breast off here. Beautiful. Let's move this over. Look at that, still steamy. Oh, look at that. Juicy, juicy chicken. Let's take a bite. You're hit with the juicy chicken, and then all of a sudden the marinade just comes in. Bright citrus orange notes, but they've turned sort of savory. They've got a little bit more depth to them. And then that onion and that garlic have some backbone to it. And the annatto comes in and it just finishes. It's a ton of flavor. Like, I'm still tasting it. You know, it's been 30 seconds since I took a bite and I'm still tasting it. Full of flavor. Good smokiness to it. I kind of wish I had put those chipotle and adobo in it because I like the spice. I bet the dark meat's even better. It is so juicy. So that was Orange-Annatto chicken that I cooked in my Breeo oven. If you like what you saw, don't forget to check me out on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks so much for tuning in. Best way to support this channel for free is just subscribe to me on YouTube. And if you like any of the stuff I use, I have a whole bunch of affiliate links down below. I get a little bit of cut, but I've only posted stuff that I like and that I use. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.